Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is our team for Seminar 2. Nur Ashkin and I, Mazatu Amirah binti Zainal, will be presenting on topic Environmental Management Accounting. In short, we call it as EMA. While the next topic, which is Environmental Cost and Benefit, will be presenting by Nur Shamimi and Nur Humaira. For more information and better understanding on environmental management accounting and environmental cost and benefit, you can click on the link below. Okay, what is environmental management accounting? In short, we call it as EMA. Generally, it is a management accounting system and practice that provide information about the environmental impact of an organization activities. Okay, next we go to the definition of EMA. Environmental Management Accounting is the identification, collection, analysis, and use of two types of information for the internal decision making. The first is physical information on the use, flows, rate of the energy, water, materials, including the waste. It is focused on supplying the information to the management that account for the organization's impact on the natural environment. For example, the kilowatts hour use of electricity. The second is financial information on the environment-related costs, earning, and saving. The financial information that needs to be considered. First, environmental costs. Costs incurred to prevent, monitor, or report the environmental effect, also the cost of the non-compliance with the environmental regulation. Second, the environmental product costing. It is involved tracing the direct or indirect environmental costs to the product, for example, a permit or fees. Third, the environmental performance indicator. It is used to set the target and monitor the environmental costs that may be incurred by the company. The fourth one is the environmental induced revenue. It is driven by desire to improve the environmental impact in the organization. The last one is the environmental induced capital expenditure. It is raised for a positive environmental action, for example, increase of revenue or benefit from sale of recycled materials. Okay, we go to the next part, which is the purpose of EMA. First, addresses the management information needs of managers for corporate activities that affect the environment as well as the environment-related impact on the corporation. Second, focus on the environmental impact, include production effluents, recycling, water, power consumption, as well as carbon footprint. Okay, next we go to the features of EMA. First, it's emphasize and identifying environmental costs of producing waste. Second, information on physical flows and use of materials, water, and energy. Third, is useful for activities and decision with materials impact. Major area of EMA. EMA can be applied in first, product pricing. The pricing must not determine only on the manufacturing cost, but also on the environmental cost that may be incurred. It is to help the company to understand more on their product pricing. Second, budgeting. Budgeting is the highest level of accounting in terms of future, which indicate a definite course of action upon environmental issue and not merely reporting. Third, investment appraisal, technique that used to determine whether it is worth investing in between alternative options. For example, the situation where a project has a lot of costs related to environment. By including the cost in investment approximation and capital budgeting, the company can make a better decision as well as can bring more benefit to them. Fourth, the calculating cost. It helps the company to calculate the direct and indirect costs that are related to the environment. The last one is the setting quantified performance target. If the company has a target related to environmental costs or benefit, EMA can provide the direct information that can be used in setting the plan for the company to make a decision. The definition of management information includes identifying and estimating the cost of environment-related activities, identifying and monitoring the use and cost of resource, making sure the environmental consideration form part of capital investment decision, and also the benchmarking activities. Okay, what is environmental management system? It is a system that organization put in place to manage their environmental performance. It may include recycling system to monitor and control level of liquid and others. Relationship between EMA and EMS, ISO 14001, an international standard for environmental management system and their audit. The growth of EMS and the adoption of ISO 14001 are highly relevant to management accounting. They require environmental performance be measured against policy, objective, and also target. That's all for me, and I will pass to Nur Ashikin with the next part of our presentation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you to Maziatul. My name is Nur Ashikin. So I will continue explain regarding benefit of EMA. Okay, basically an organization decision maker will use information provided by EMA to make decision that will impact financial and environmental performance of the company. Okay, the first benefit is benefit of EMA to industry. The first one is it able to accurately track and manage the use and flow of energy and materials. Second one is it able to more accurately identify, estimate, allocate, manage and reduce costs, and particularly it will related with environmental costs. And the last one is it can help to improve it will help to provide more accurately and comprehensive information for measurement and reporting environmental performance, and it will improve the company image to stakeholder. Okay, the next is benefit of EMA adoption by industry to government. The first one is the more industry are able to justify environmental program based on their financial self-interest, the lower the political, financial and other burdens of environmental protection on government. Second one is implementation of EMA by industry able to strengthen the effectiveness of existing government policies and regulation by reveal to the company the truth of environmental cost and benefit that are resulting from government policies and regulation. The third one is government also can use industry EMA data to estimate and monitor financial and environmental performance for businesses stakeholder. And beside industry EMA data also can be used to guide government in design their program and policies, and it also can be used for regional or national level of accounting purpose. Okay, the last is benefit of EMA adoption by government. Okay, government EMA data can be used for environmental and other decision making within government operation. In addition, government EMA data also can be used to estimate and monitor financial and environmental performance indicator for government's operations. Okay, next is I will explain regarding challenges in implementation of EMA. The first challenges is it can lead to ineffective communication between accounting and other departments. Every department will have different goals and perspective with respect to EMA type of activity, and they often use different information system that resulting from lack of communication between accounting and other professional that involved in environmental management. Second challenges is material use, flow and cost information often do not track it adequately. Okay, although large company annually generate millions of data records regarding material movement from their software system, but the available information still not sufficiently accurate and effective. Okay, the third challenges is many type of environmental related cost information are not found in accounting records. Okay, accounting records typically do not contain much information on future environmental related costs. It because accounting system have traditionally looked towards the past, and accounting record also lack of many others tangible environmental related costs. And the last challenges is investment decisions are made based on incomplete information. So it is important for an organization to ensure that their environmental manager, technical expert, and accountant work together to provide full picture of environmental issues, the related cost and benefit that are relevant for making an investment decision. Okay, that's all from me. So I will pass to Humaira.
Hi, my name is Myra. So we are going to discuss about environmental costs and benefits. Later when I finish, you will meet the next presenter, Nur Shamimi. So she will start from the limitations of costs and benefits. What are we waiting for? Let's start with the first slide. So what is environment? So environment means anything that's around us. It could be living or non-living things, such as animals, plants, microorganisms, and more. So their functions is to provide the supply of resources like renewable or non-renewable. It also can sustain our life and enhance our quality of life. So have you ever heard that our business activity could affect these environments? Let's watch the next slide. What are the effects of business activities towards the environment? The place we work can affect the environment either positively or negatively. How eco-friendly the employer is when it comes to using energy to heat and cool the building, to bring products into it, and remove waste from it has a major impact on community and the planet. For example, the emissions of chemical waste are something that have potential to cause the environmental impacts such as global warming or air and water pollution. Environmental cost management. So company incur costs to ensure the health of environments. So that's why environmental management accounting is needed. So environmental management accounting, or we call as EMA, consists of management accounting system and practices that provide information about the environmental impact of an organization's activities. It also enables the business to control the costs associated with the environmental impact of the company's business operations, or in other words, to reduce their impact on the environment. The reasons why environmental management is important. So the first one is company can increase their appeal to customers by portraying themselves as environmentally responsible. The second one is environmental costs are becoming huge for some companies, such as significant costs that need to be managed. And the third one is regulation is increasing worldwide at a rapid pace, with penalties for non-compliance also increasing accordingly. So what are environmental costs? According to the US Environmental Protection Agency, environmental costs depended on how an organization used the information. It also comprised of costs incurred to protect the environment and costs of waste material, capital, and also labor. But many organizations vary in their definitions of environmental costs. Okay, identifying environmental costs. Much of the information required to generate environmental management accounts can be found in a company's general ledger. So because environmental costs are sometimes considered as a general overhead, however, it is important to link environmental costs to the processes or goods that cause them. Only in this manner can a company make well-informed their business decision. So what is cost of quality? Cost of quality is defined as a methodology that allows an organization to determine the extent to which its resources are used for activities that prevent poor quality, and that appraise the quality of the organization's products or services, and that results from internal and external failures. Having such information allows an organization to determine the potential savings to be gained by implementing process improvement. And what are costs of poor quality? Cost of poor quality is defined as the cost associated with providing poor quality products or services. So there are three categories: appraisal cost, the cost incurred to determine the degree of conformance to quality requirements; internal failure cost, the costs that are associated with defects found before the customer received the product or services; and external failure cost, the costs that are associated with defects found after the customer received the products or services. So let me explain to you these three costs in details. The first one is appraisal cost. the costs that are associated with measuring and monitoring activities related to quality. So these costs are associated with the suppliers and customers' evaluations of purchased materials, processes, products and services to ensure that they conform to specifications. And they also include verification, quality audit and supplier rating. So we have internal failure costs, the costs that are incurred to remedy defects discovered before the products or services is being delivered to the customers. So these costs occur when the results of work fail to reach design quality standards and are detected before they are transferred to the customers. So they also include waste. External failure costs are incurred to remedy defects discovered by customers. So these costs occur when products or services that fail to reach design quality standards are not detected until after transfer to the customers. So these also include warranty claim, returns and complaint. And we have prevention costs. These costs are incurred to prevent or avoid quality problems. So these costs are associated with the design, implementations and maintenance of the quality management systems. So they are planned and incurred before actual operations, and they include product or service requirements, quality planning and quality assurance. Okay, here we identify the importance of cost of quality. It reduces the cost of quality products or services that can help companies increase their profits. And the second one, it also prevents costs include processing planning, review and analysis of quality audits, and training employees to prevent future failure. And also it eliminates defect materials before the production begins. There are 5 tiers of environmental costs. The first tiers can be found in the accounting system of most organizations, which is direct costs associated with capital expenditure, raw material, and other operating and maintenance costs. The second tier is costs captured by accounting system, but then losing their identity in general overheads, such as costs of monitoring and reporting activities to comply with regulations. The third tier is also referred to as contingent liabilities, costs that may be incurred at a future date. For example, costs arising from failure to cleaning up contaminated site or penalties for non-compliance to regulation. The fourth tier is costs that by their nature are intangible. For example, the cost of preparing environmental reports. Okay, the fifth tier is the costs that organizations impose on others, which are the environment and society for which they may not be held legally responsible and which cannot be compensated for in the legal system. We want to look at the cost-benefit analysis, or CBA. This cost is the method of measuring the benefits of a decision or action minus the cost associated with that decision or action. A CBA includes measurable financial measures such as income earned or expenditures saved as a result of the project decision. Intangible benefits and costs, as well as the impacts of decisions such as staff morale and customer satisfaction, might be included in this CBA. So the cost-benefit analysis worth is determined by the accuracy of the company's cost and benefit estimates.
Alright, let's take Tealive as an example. So Tealive switched from plastic straw to paper straw. So the cost is the paper straw are more costly than plastic straw. So what are the benefits? It is able to save environment as paper straw are compostable. It boosts the brand name, and also it complied with the government's regulation and satisfied the customer's needs.
Okay, here is the view of advantage cost benefit analysis. The first one is provide decision makers with quantitative and qualitative information about the likely effects of a regulation. The second one, encourage decision makers to take account of all the positive and negative effects of the proposed regulation and discourage them from making decisions based on only the impacts on a single group within the community. And the last one is help identify the cost-effective solution to problems by identifying and measuring all costs.
Okay, hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Syamimi binti Muhammad Nur. I will start the presentation with the limitation of cost-benefit analysis. Okay, the first limitation is involve small to mid-level capital expenditure and are short to intermediate in terms of time to completion. For every large project with a long-term time horizon, a cost-benefit analysis might fail to account for important financial concerns such as inflation, interest rate, varying cash flow, and the present value of money. Okay, the second limitation is the evaluation are subjective and cannot be considered absolute accurate. Since some of the benefit and costs are non-monetary, it's become difficult to estimate, quantify, and identify them in monetary terms. This can lead to wrong evaluation. Okay, the last limitation is the forecast used in any cost-benefit analysis might include future revenue or sale, alternative rate of return, expected cost, and expected future cash flow. If one or two of the forecasts are off, this leads to inaccurate analysis. Okay, would company benefit through the cost it spent in taking care of environment? Yeah, sure, the company get the benefit. Therefore, the practice can have a positive effect on business too. And the study show environmentally friendly not only benefit the environment, but also save the money. The next slide, I will explain about the benefit that the company gets. Okay, the first benefit is increased productivity. This is because they take a critical look at their own practices. They also be a most efficient and less environmentally damaging version. And most process speed up to boost the company's overall productivity. Okay, the second benefit that company get is improve their image. This is because the company care about more than just bottom line, will impress potential client and customer. The survey found that 58% of them consider a company's environmental impact. Therefore, sustainable reputation could open business to 68 million potential customer. Next, image through marketing so that they feel good about using your business because of that. Okay, the third benefit is save money. This is because optimizing the company's process will save on resources. In addition, it also benefits in save money and protect the environment in the process. Hence, the step to make a green business save $1 million over time. For example, swapping all light bulb with the newer. Second, upgrading to computer that require much lesser electricity. Okay, the fourth benefit is hold on to employee. This means that giving the business a mission of care about environment, the company will make their employee feel proud to work and just stick around a while longer. Okay, the fifth benefit is impress the shareholder. This is because the shareholder want the business that benefit them. So the company will sure to share this information about going green with the investor. It is important for informing shareholder and it can lead to a positive image to outsider. Okay, the last benefit is be ready for future regulation. This type of law will only become strict in the future as resources become more and more precious. Relying on dwindling sources of energy to operate isn't good for business. Thus, becoming green business now will prepare a company for future regulation meant to protect the earth. Okay, now we use Tesco as an example. Tesco is the most environmentally sustainable retailer. Tesco also is the one of company that spend their money in taking care of the environment. For example, they use reusable bag and biodegradable plastic bag. Tesco has planned to label all its products with their carbon footprint. Not only help the environment, but also help company to more sustainable and competitive. That last but not least, this earned them increasing trust from customer. Okay, now we move to business related to environmental cost and benefit. We choose Starbucks as an example. First, recycling and reducing waste. They do recycling in store, for example, recycle cardboard box, milk jug, syrup bottles, and coffee ground in store. Next, reusable cup. They serve customer beverages in a ceramic mug, which help keep our forest intact. Okay, second, energy conservation. They invest in new lighting and improving the efficiency of heating, ventilation, and cooling system and other equipment. Third, water conservation. For example, use a blast of higher pressure water to clean blender jugs instead of an open tap and train their employee to keep the refrigeration coil on ice machine clean to reduce the amount of latent heat from the machine and minimize ice melt. And last but not least, building greener stores, such as saving water by using high blast nozzles to clean jug instead of running water. Next, installing cabinetry made from 90% post-industrial material with no added formaldehyde. Third, reducing our carbon footprint by sourcing building material. And fourth, improving lighting efficiency.